OT environments are complex. I know that's a bold statement. They also generally need to be more reliable than their IT brothers and sisters. The combination of complexity and reliability means that industrial control systems tend to stick around a long time. If an ICS was customized for a specific OT environment, downtime for upgrades just doesn't happen as much as it does in the IT world. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So how do you bridge a modern-day secure control system with an OT environment that might be more than a decade old? I'm Matt Bolick, Technical Marketing Engineer at Fortinet. Let's talk about the industrial connectivity capability built into FortiGate rugged firewalls. For more than 30 years, serial connections have been the bread and butter of ICS communications. Serial connections are reliable, ubiquitous, and interoperable. However, serial has plenty of drawbacks, including expense, complexity, and cost, which means it has been almost completely replaced by Ethernet in modern deployments. The word almost is doing a lot of heavy lifting there, and we still have plenty of serial connected devices that we need to connect to modern Ethernet-based control systems. That's where industrial serial servers or serial gateways come into play. Plenty of companies make these for connecting large serial control systems to a modern Ethernet world. But what if you just need to connect a single device or maybe a corner of your control system that you're in the process of modernizing? Why not use a secure device already in your control system to handle the conversion from the modern IP world to the legacy serial control system? FortiGate rugged firewalls include exactly that capability, called industrial connectivity. This allows the firewall to handle the conversion between a legacy serial protocol and a modern TCP/IP counterpart. We can convert IC101 in the serial world to IC104 over TCP/IP, or Modbus RTU to Modbus TCP, or even serial TTL into IP raw socket. Let's see it in action. In our setup today, we have a programmable logic controller using Modbus RTU to control an output, telling a control PLC to begin filling a water tank, which we can monitor on the HMI screen. I'm sending a Modbus TCP command from a control station to the firewall, which converts the message to Modbus RTU to trigger things, all over a serial connection. Physically, this is what it looks like, with a FortiGate rugged firewall, FortiSwitch rugged, control PLC, trigger PLC, HMI display, and pump lights. You can also see the serial connection from the FortiGate rugged firewall to the trigger PLC. When we send the control message over Modbus TCP to the firewall, it translates that message to Modbus RTU to control the trigger PLC starting the pump to fill the water tank. Let's see that again from the control station. Here I've written a simple Python application that sends a Modbus TCP trigger to the correct IP address and register to start the pump. When I press the start button, the Modbus TCP message goes to the FortiGate firewall, which converts the message to Modbus RTU. That triggers the serial connected PLC, starting the tank fill sequence. Now that we know what's happening, let's see how we configure it. For starters, we need to enable industrial connectivity on the firewall Ethernet interface that we're going to be listening on. In this setup, I'm sending Modbus TCP traffic to the WAN interface of the FortiGate, so all we have to do is check that box on the WAN interface. To configure the Modbus translation, we need to drop down into the command line, which is easy to do through the FortiGate GUI. FortiOS tries to keep the GUI clean by providing the majority of features people will use in an easy interface. More advanced configuration or less often used commands are going to be in the CLI. Translating industrial messages from Ethernet to serial is a great tool to have on the FortiGate, but it's not something the majority of users are going to need very often. Configuration is straightforward with just 3 commands. We enable industrial connectivity, set this translation type to Modbus, and set the serial interface we'll be translating. The default serial and Modbus configuration works for us, so that's all we need to do here. The default is a typical serial line communication. We could also set this up as a raw socket transport or an IEC 101 to 104 translation, or change the Modbus unit ID if needed in our environment. That's industrial connectivity with the FortiGate rugged industrial firewalls. It's a great tool to have in your toolbox, with the FortiGate allowing you to stitch together serial devices that still live in your control system with a modern TCP/IP based world. We're also doing this with the world-class security capabilities and deep knowledge of unique OT devices, applications, and vulnerabilities available on FortiGate firewalls. For more information on the secure OT portfolio from Fortinet, head on over to fortinet.com/OT. Thanks for watching.